Hello, everyone. Welcome to Luna Wisdom Tarot. I'm Antoinette, and I have another new pick a card reading ready for you. So this pick a card reading is about mystery messages from Isis. What is unfolding for you right now? So I have 3 piles I picked out that we'll dig into right away. And as a reminder, this is going to be general messaging. So just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And then, of course, I do want to stop and recognize all of my subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Been really enjoying your comments as well. So with that, appreciate your support. Let's look at the piles. So for mystery messages from Isis, what is unfolding for you next? We have pile 1. Pile 1, I selected the citrine stone, as you can see here. All right, and the card is Divine Sunchild, Blessings of the Sun Falcon. Okay, so that's pile 1. Pile 2, we have the red jasper card. All right, or I'm sorry, the red jasper stone. And your card is Key of Life. Spinning the Anuk, the Key of Life. I don't know if it's supposed to be a knock or a nuke. Probably a knock. Okay, so that's pile 2. And then pile 3. So this one is a ruby zoestite crystal. It's pretty cool. Kind of looks like a green spotted stone. All right, and so the card here for pile 3 is Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Seers. Okay, so go ahead, meditate on the cards. Go ahead and select which pile is for you, and I will see you there. All right, pile 1. Okay, mystery messages from Isis. What is unfolding for you, pile 1? We're going to get right into it. I selected the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and look at that, the High Priestess right out the gate. So for pile 1, what mystery messages from Isis is unfolding for pile 1? I knew this card would come out. I just had a feeling. What mystery messages are here for pile 1? Okay. Okay. Give me one moment while I absorb the cards here, and then we'll get started. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, first and foremost, I'm going to pull from the Isis Oracle card, Isis Oracle deck, because you selected this card, Divine Sun Child. It's a really cool card. I don't know how well it comes off on camera, but if you look here, there's different being, like, there's like a being here, there's 2 women, there's also like a falcon, and it says Blessings of the Sun Falcon, Divine Sun Child. So I'm actually going to read a little of the book message right now, and it's just going to kind of give us a little guidance on your reading and what's going to be unfolding for you next. So the reading says, Blessings from the Sun Falcon flow into it now. It is time to allow your life to flourish without limits, to let your light burn bright without veil, just like the midsummer sun burning without contest in the Egyptian desert. Blessings of the Sun Falcon herald the time when your divine legacy is being born. It is your time to burn bright. Okay, it is your time to burn bright. So really, this is an awesome message, pile 1. Right out the gate, it's time for you to let loose. Time for you to, they said, you're going to shine in the sky like a summer sun without contest in the Egyptian desert. You really think about that concept, that's huge, because that means that what you're about to embody, which you are already embodying, but what it sounds like you're stepping into this power, right? These are what's unfolding for you next, is you're going to be able to burn bright. You're going to not have to deny your power or your skill at this next level and next stage. Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and get into your tarot cards. So right out the gate, we have the High Priestess here. The High Priestess energy, in my opinion, just really, it shows you've come a long way. It's card 2, so duality. 2 could mean something to you. 222 could be significant. You could notice that time on the clock often, or who knows, you could be born on the 22nd, or you know, that could even be a birth time. But 2 could be very significant for this pile. Ironically enough, pile 1. So as we're looking at this, the High Priestess card, look at her stance here. There's no doubt she's lived some life. She has complete ownership of her space. There's something very unusual about her. There's something that's mysterious about her as well. The moon is at her feet. She has a representation of duality with both the black and the white pillar, which goes back to that 2 energy. You also know she's a modern High Priestess, right? She's had a laptop in her lap. I want to bring that up for you, especially for you, Pile 1. You guys could be connected and in some sort of power position, in a position of power in your workplace. It could involve, of course, computers, working online, working for a corporation, even working for a mom and pop shop, but you're the one who has to be on the computer most of the day. If that's true of you, then this is your message. If that's not necessarily true for you, have no fear. There's a lot of other things here. There's someone who definitely be sown drum, someone who could be called I would say a renegade. I am sorry for that, Pile 1. I just had to sneeze. But let's get back into it. So we talked about the business folks. That could be a confirmation, but we're not going to stop there. You could be a matriarch in your family. You could be the person that they always go to. You could be a coach or a mentor to people, where you hold a position of authority, even if it's just not necessarily in a position of power. You hold a position of power with your opinion, with people's respect of you. Now, the other thing I see here with the moon, we also do have a lot of spiritual people in the house. You could have a spiritual practice that is very strong, very important to you. Practicing yoga or running your own, spiritual coaching business, tarot, Reiki, etc., etc. So there's a lot going on here. I just want to point that out. But this High Priestess energy, when we just step out of all of that, just look at it for what it is. She represents quite a few things. It represents the fact that you've developed your intuition. Okay? You have fully developed your intuition. You have stepped into your wisdom. You are no longer secretive we'll say, or for no reason. In fact, you apply wisdom with every decision that you have. You do keep secrets. You do have a sense of mystery about you, but those things are with intention. You do nothing without thought. So you're not somebody who's just trying to be coercive or, we'll say, affect people's opinions of you just for no uncertain reason. You usually have a purpose in mind. I'll give an example. If you're going after a new endeavor, which I'm seeing in these cards that you are, the High Priestess energy represents something that's very true, which is the idea that you understand that not everybody in your circle needs to know about what you're doing next. You understand not everyone is for you. You follow your instincts. Hence, while you are using that sense of mystery to your advantage, you're using your intuition. To other people, they may see you as more distant, or they may see you as secretive, but it's not the case. It just means you're fully owning your power. So we start off with this energy. You're in this energy now. Now underneath this clarity card that I already pulled is the King of Wands. This King of Wands card when we look at it fully and truly, it's a deep message as well, because it's talking about stepping into like an area of course, good fortune, right? Because it's a king. Some masculine energy, very vibrant masculine energy, so some leadership, some power. But it's also creative. It's also passionate. It's also this energy that we could call confident, charming, as well as being free to go after creative endeavors, having full confidence that you're following your instincts properly. That's what that King of Wands is clarifying for the High Priestess. You're going after new projects. We see that further here with the Knight of Pentacles and what's coming next. Now, you guys could already be going after these new projects. You could be building something for yourself. It could be you're planning an amazing trip, some sort of adventure that that's going to feed your soul. It could be that you're building a business. It could be that you're doing a side hustle or some sort of coaching endeavor, some sort of musical endeavor. You could be writing a book. Just whatever. I would say when we say project, it is incredibly vague because there's a bunch of projects out there. So I'm going to add clarity that it's a project that feeds your soul. It's a project that you've kept maybe only in your fantasy. You've never actually publicly admitted. Now, some of you, maybe you have, but a lot of you probably haven't. You haven't publicly even let people know that this is something that's, maybe on your bucket list or something that you're feeling called to do, okay? So with that, this Knight of Pentacles comes in clear. So what I like about the Knight is bold. Okay, so we talked about before, we were leaning a little bit into the secretive nature, and I didn't know why the message was coming out that way. I'm just the vessel. But then we kind of brought in that boldness and that passion, that fire energy from the King of Wands. Now all of that is making sense. Now I do want to pause and let you know my windows are open. It's a bit windy, but it's very hot. So I apologize if you hear the wind or my slight fan in the background. If it's super annoying, I promise I will not do it again, but that's why you're hearing that noise if you do. Okay, so back to the messages. Knight of Pentacles. Knights are bold by nature. They're fired up. They're ready to take on the world. This is something that you've had for a very long time. So now it's like that passion that you're feeling from the King of Wands is spurning you forward into this Knight of Pentacles energy. This energy is free-spirited. You're moving after what you want freely without questioning yourself. You expect good news, you expect adventure, and most importantly, life is going to keep moving on regardless. You are going to move in accordance to its path, right? Life is moving on regardless, then fine. I'm going to go after what I dream of, and what I dream of is this project that I'm going after. And we named a lot of different examples. If you feel called to, go ahead and drop your project in the comments, or you can even just drop an emoji with a sun card. With a sun emoji in the comments, just acknowledging that it's time for you to shine. It's time. You've done the work. You're not going to come out like right out the gate with High Priestess energy if you have not put in all of the effort and hard work. Like, High Priestess is one of the highest major arcanas you can get. What you're doing here is going to be very significant, and in fact, it will affect people. What you're doing is going to have impacts to others. So I'm going to clarify a card on the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles here. This is so clear. Look at how she's holding the Four of Pentacles here. Isn't that interesting? This is encouraging you to hold your dream very firmly and tightly. And I would say it's not even encouragement, it's foretelling that you will. Because of what you've gone through, and because of now you holding this High Priestess mixed with King of Wands energy, you really value who you are today. You really see very clearly what you could bring to the world and positive, impact. You see that project that's been calling to you, your soul dream, if it will. It's a dream that you want to go after and you're not willing to give it up. So maybe in the past, you were okay to ignore it. It wasn't the right time. You'll deal with it one day. Maybe it's not realistic. You've grown way out of that. And now that my apologies, that Knight of Pentacles energy, that fire that's bringing you out there, that's bringing that desire up and coming, you're going to do it no matter what. Life's going to keep moving on. You don't want to be left behind, right? That energy mixed with the Four of Pentacles energy, you're going to hold this dream tight. You're going to hold on to it. You're going to be possessive of your dream. You are not going to let it go, okay? That means you will guard it with everything that you have because it's what you have. Because you know victory is predetermined. You see it from a mile away. The Six of Wands. That's what this card represents. It's about victory. It's about having that moment where everything comes together. This is triumph for you. This is success, okay? So you are guaranteed success. It comes out right in the cards. This is your message from Isis on, what is unfolding for you. Success is unfolding for you. I'm going to get a clarifying card on that. Not to say that we really need more clarity, but why not, right? The Empress. Wow. When I pulled this oracle card, the Divine Sun Child, and I just saw the look of it and everything, I just had a feeling about your pile. Even the citrine, the yellow, I didn't plan that either. It's just everything kind of came out, and it just keeps informing us. Remember, you are the sun, and nothing challenges the sun. Like where they say in the Egyptian desert, like nobody doubts the power of the sun, right? And that's you. You're really fully in your power, and that's brought in even more with the Empress energy, okay? So this energy is balancing out that King of Wands energy, that masculine energy. So now we're balancing that out with Divine Feminine energy. So we're talking about that nurturing energy, having really strong relationships, being able to, be connected with nature, being able to feel a sense of balance and harmony in your everyday life. So as you start seeing victory in what you're going after, you don't lose who you are. On the contrary, it's like you get reborn. So the High Priestess and Empress are lined up in the major arcana. So it goes the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, then the Empress. The idea that you have some of the most powerful cards in the entire reading right here and so early tells us a lot of things, okay? The High Priestess, that's what you are. The Empress, you'll be pulling from that energy as well. That pull from the energy, nature's going to keep you balanced. You're going to have that beautiful sense of Divine Feminine. You already have some masculine represented here. You have your intuition. You have your dream you're refusing to let go of. And you have certain victory in your mind. It's not even just in this reading. Deep down in your soul, it's like when you do this, your life will change. And maybe in some ways that's intimidating. And maybe that's also prevented you from stepping into your full light. But this reading is encouraging you. Isis is saying it is time. So this Fool card energy is really strong energy as well. And what I see here with the Fool card energy is, of course, it's about new beginnings. So if we think about this, you've had this moment of victory. You're sitting in your Empress energy. Because you have all of this behind you, you hold on to your dreams tightly, remember? You have this strong sense of intuition. You have this amazing creative drive. You still have that Knight energy, that energy that just keeps you wanting more. All of that will lead you to taking more and more risks, but calculated risks, right? More and more spiritual growth, more and more manifestation, more and more new beginnings. That's what the Fool card represents for you. You're going to be stepping in to new beginnings. And it's so clear and it's so perfect for you, pile 1. So the next card is a King of Pentacles in reverse. You're going to be stepping into these things, and money isn't going to be your foremost goal. This is the irony of all irony. I'm going to hold up the card. King of Pentacles here. King of Pentacles is about money, right? It's that financial fulfillment after all of this hard work. We talk about you taking more and more new beginnings. But the way you take these new beginnings, the financial benefits, the money and the affluence isn't your top primary goal. Instead, you have other goals that you seek to accomplish. The irony is, the King of Pentacles in reverse, you're getting a much stronger view of, it means double the money, double the blessings, double your business is going well. Look at his face. He is so not concerned about anything. That's you. So know that that's why it came out in reverse. It's an intense upright card. It's an intense upright view that I see for you. You are going to have that money and financial security that maybe you don't have today, you will have and then some. It's like whatever you dream for yourself will be doubled because you're walking into it with this bright energy, right? Your hard work mixed with that new beginning factor, manifestations coming through very clearly. Now we see the Page of Wands. It's another aspect of yourself that's happening here. So let's figure out what the Page of Wands is about here. So what we see here, the Page of Wands is like new opportunities, okay? Especially new creative endeavors. We already were talking about your projects and everything. But what I see here is it's new opportunities on a personal front, okay? How is that? Well, I would say for you, Pal One, you'll just be seeing life a lot differently and you'll be going after things a lot differently. So maybe in the past you used more achiever energy as represented with this laptop and the High Priestess card. Like just a lot of calculated measurement and action. The Page of Wands is bringing up like that Fool energy is butted against the Page of Wands. That Page of Wands energy is you are taking these new directions and you're doing it with a light heart and a light spirit. You're doing it with trust. You step into flow. So you're not bringing calculation to this. I also have to point out there's an absence of swords energy. So some of you may be air signs. If you are, drop it in the comments. And I bring that up because that means like a lot of times with the air signs, like they're overthinkers and they always have a strategy. They always have plans. They're always, it's like their mind's always moving. Not to say the rest that we don't all at some point deal with overthinking. I think everybody on planet Earth does. But I'm bringing that up only because with these cards in particular, the absence of the sword energy is actually leading me toward thinking that a lot of you could be air signs, and this could be one of those things like, because this is a mystery message, right? And as it's unfolding, one of the signs you'll start seeing when this is all coming into fulfillment, one of the things that you'll be like, wow, this is true, is you will find yourself thinking less and moving off of faith or in like your flow more often. This isn't calculated. This isn't something where you need to, try to do affirmations to get there, or try to like write in your journal every night and do prompts. Like it's not that. It's just going to be a natural mental shift. You can't force it. It's going to naturally happen. This Page of Wands energy, it's going to be that freeness that you may have never felt. It's going to be this light heart, this light spirit. You're ready to take on new challenges. You're ready to go in a new direction. That will lead you to success as well. 10 of Wands in reverse. This reversal is also significant. We talked about overthinking and that being a major barrier for Pile 1. If that's true for you, which I believe is true for most of you, then the 10 of Wands clarifying the Page of Wands is so incredibly significant. I'll tell you why. The 10 of Wands is carrying a heavy burden. So you think about this card and watching this woman carry this burden. It is heavy work carrying a massive burden that she can barely wrap her arms around, right? It's not a fair, we'll say, ask. Because it's in reverse, it shows you have freed yourself from these proverbial burdens, okay? You freed yourself from overthinking. You freed yourself from not being able to step into your natural flowing energy. So now with a light heart and light spirit, you don't have those pressures anymore. You're going into new directions without the overthinking. Instead, you're trusting flow. You're trusting what's stepping in front of you. You have a natural trust to how you're approaching things. Now let's look at the 7 of Wands and how that fits in. So what I see here for the 7 of Wands is that you're still going to struggle at times. And this is actually important to point out. It's not going to be like the whole thing is all win and you don't have any challenges, but it's how you approach these challenges that are going to be very different. Remember, before, maybe some overthinking. Maybe you weren't free to express who you are. Now you're showing your sun full bloom. Like that's not, there's no hesitation there to show who you are. And the Seven of Wands card brings it home even more. It's about you're able, instead of being worried when you have competition, look at this woman. She has a lot of competition in front of her. She has, what is that, 2, 4, 6 wands in front of her. Yep, she's holding the 7th. And that is going to be you at times. You're going to have difficult times in this process. You're going to have to set boundaries. You're going to have to learn to say no at times. You're going to have to show your strength. And sometimes you're going to have to refuse to budge and be all in on something. And let's just say other people want to stand in your way, and you'll have to hold your ground. That's what the Seven of Wands is talking about. There's going to be moments like this. This is just life. But you're so prepared for it. You're more than prepared for it. And so the clarification card that came out here is Judgment. So the Judgment card came out, and it's awesome. It's an awesome way to like just end off this part of the tarot reading, because it talks about a new way of life begins. Old judgments need to be discarded. You have discarded those old judgments, so you've stepped into a spiritual awakening. That is why your new life begins. So it's ironic, actually. It's like you're starting as this person. You're already this person today. You're already seeing this King of Wands energy in yourself. The Knight of Pentacles, you're going after what you want. You hold on to your dream very tightly. You know that victory is guaranteed. And you also understand your Empress energy for the first time. You see all of the ways that and reasons that you're deserving of this dream coming together. And ultimately the Fool card here, the Fool card is going to flow in. That new beginning, you're free to go after whatever you want. Creative expression, not limited by how much money am I going to make from this. Instead, just really trusting your heart, trusting the flow that you're in. With that means double the blessings, double the financial opportunities, doubling the business building size, and all those other things that you may be going after. And that Page of Wands represents letting go that critical mind, that energy that just won't ever stop, where it's like you're overthinking and, imposter syndrome, all those other fun things that happen. That's long gone. Now it's replaced with this Page of Wands energy, this energy where you're ready for new direction, new opportunities. You approach everything with a light heart and with a light soul, right? You've released those past burdens, those heavy burdens, especially mental burdens that were keeping you back. That Seven of Wands, there'll be challenges, but you will hold your ground throughout them. And ultimately, the Judgment card just guaranteeing a new life will begin because you've reached your spiritual awakening. This is a very powerful reading, Pile 1. I'm incredibly impressed with you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull a quick oracle card for advice. Okay, we got 2 actually. So I'm pulling these from the Archangel Animals Oracle deck. So the first one up is a pig card. And this card, look, he has got a big sun behind him, and it says, maintain self-worth and self-esteem. It's important that you remember you're the high priest. Your DNA is High Priestess and King of Wands energy. That's your DNA. So it's important for you to remember that. That's that self-worth and self-esteem. As you're going through challenges, when Seven of Wands things happen, like remember what your DNA is. Remember that difficult things will happen from time to time, but that's not going to be your full story. Instead, you're going to have a lot of success. You're going to have a lot of mental freedom. You're going to be a lot more comfortable in your skin and owning your divine femininity. And then and for my masculines, that would be really owning that King of Wands energy mixed with the Empress energy, right? But it's a balance. Just remember that. It's not all feminine. Like the way this reading reads, it's like you've hit this incredible balance of dark and light energies and of masculine and feminine energies. So the next card up is Llama. Set clear boundaries and enforce them. I think this card is so perfect for the Seven of Wands energy over here and the Judgment energy. A lot of times when we overthink and we want to go after something, it's because people kind of said some negative things. Seven of Wands, maybe somebody sees you going after something and they put something in your head about, it doesn't really matter, but just something that just kind of stuck and you're overthinking it. And now you're in this energy, just 10 of Wands energy. It's just really encouraging you that if you ever see that, you got to set boundaries and enforce them. People do not deserve to, treat you badly in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter who they are in your life. You can set boundaries and you should be enforcing those boundaries. And that's represented here, ironically, by this kissing llamas here. And again, a lot of sun in the back of this card. So a lot of sun energy here for you. Of course, in the Fool card, it's coming out even bolder. I think it's really important for you, Pile 1, to really embrace that message that came from this card here, the Divine Sun card. And just to remind you, it said, it's time to allow your life to flourish without limits, to let your light burn bright without veil, just like the midsummer sun burning without contest in the Egyptian desert. Okay, with that, Power 1, that concludes your message. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, please hit like, drop me a comment, let me know if you connected with the message. You can just do a simple sun emoji if that's easiest for you. That's fine with me. And subscribe if you enjoyed it. I do these messages a couple times a week. I'd love to have you join the channel. All right, thanks so much for your time, Pile 1. I'll talk to you again soon. Hello, Pile 2. If you selected the red jasper, this is your message. Key of Life, spinning the Anuc, the Key of Life. Okay, so what we're talking about today is mystery messages from Isis. What is unfolding for you next, Pile 2? So I will read a little bit from the Isis Oracle book. That's where this card was taken from. Just get some further messages on this card, and then we will get going. Okay, the Key of Life is the mysterious Anuc, the looped cross held in the hand of Isis. So that's that right there. And it says, the Anuc portends new life being born through you now. It could be in a creative sense or in a physical sense, in terms of health, or even a child that wishes to be born, or a new project that needs to be created in service of humanity. This new life being born in whatever form will enrich your life, bringing you more into wholeness and fulfillment. Let it happen. I realized I probably was holding that too close. Sorry about that. Okay. Pisces is going to be very interesting. So, you have a new life being born through you now. It could show in a variety of ways. Okay, I'm going to start shuffling. Mystery messages from Isis. What is unfolding for Pile 2 next? What is unfolding for Pile 2 next? Just from Isis. What is unfolding for Pile 2 next? Okay. Oh, the Star card. Okay, it's fun. Another one fell. Let me look. Okay. You have a big big destiny, Pile 2. Big destiny. It's good, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Okay, let's get started. right. So key of life, spinning the Anuc, the key of life. Okay. So when we think about the Isis energy for your pile 2, this energy is very, it's powerful, but it's like, you're very called. Like, it's like you have a destiny. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you feel like you're destined to accomplish something, destined to experience something, but you really, like, the term destiny really means something very powerful to you. And that's what I'm feeling. So when we look right out the gate, we talked about in the actual book, remember? So this phase is really like new life is being born through you. So we talked about in a creative sense, it could be in a physical sense, it could be something like health, it could be having a child, it could be a new project, but it's going to be in service to humanity, but ultimately it's a new life that's being born. So what I see here right out the gate is the Star card. What you're meant to do is going to bring about a lot of hope and a renewed sense of faith for people. And it may be people in your family, it may be bigger than your family, it may be with your particular group of friends if it's not your family members, but people in your life, this will be your project's going to be very significant to them. Even if there are someone that doesn't believe in it, believe in what you're going after, or they're not supportive of it, they will feel differently about it, especially as you continue to pursue it and you're true to who you are. The Five of Cups energy, which is underneath here, is clarifying the Star card. It talks about it's taken you a while to accept that this is going to be what you do, because it's not something that everybody is very happy with. So, of course, I'm channeling in this message. So for me saying that earlier about like, not everybody's gonna be happy with it, like, it's just kind of part of it. Like, you've experienced people maybe look at you as, like, I'll say woo-woo, or they could look at you like you're a dreamer, like nobody in our family's ever done this, why do you think you can do it, like things like that. It can also be just your friends, like, think that you're kind of like, oh, you're just a dreamer, pie in the sky, just whatever it is. It's what you're going after takes a bit of guts, and it took for you some acceptance that this is really what you want. And even though other people don't understand it, it's something that's important to you. And I can certainly relate to that, because I think that a lot of times in life, we end up landing on things that make sense, financially, and people around us are encouraging us to do that. And when people don't encourage you, it kind of could create a moment of pause. It may mean you still do it, but people who are significant in your life, of course you're going to stop and want to understand why they're concerned about it, because most people their biggest motivation is protection, right? They want to protect you. They want to make sure that you're happy and you live a happy life. So anyways, this Five of Cups energy talks about that you've had some moments where you've just had to accept where you're headed and be okay with that. And the Five of Swords goes into this even deeper. So the Five of Swords talks about how there's times where it creates conflict, like what you're going after, what you want to do. Let's just say, for instance, you want to have a child, and maybe some people around you are concerned about that. It's creating, some sort of disagreement, and maybe some people say things that aren't the kindest, things like that. But that Five of Swords energy is like this disagreement, kind of conflict energy. It's something that you have been experiencing, and that's a very difficult thing to experience, because this is your time to create. And I think you know that, but it really is true. Now, I do want to pause and tell you, I feel like you could really benefit from listening to pile 1. So if you're listening to this message and it kind of resonated with you a little bit, then I would suggest you look over at pile 1. And the reason why I say that is because it almost feels like there could be some messages there for you. So yeah, just so you know. And if it doesn't appeal to you, that's fine. Finish this message first regardless. Okay, so King of Cups. So this King of Cups energy comes out next. what I see here for the King of Cups energy and how it plays with the conflict card, you've learned to balance out and to see like what you should be concerned about versus what people's concerns are. Like, are they based in some sort of sense of, I hate to say this, but like reality, or is there some truth to it? Or are they just concerned and they just want to help you? You know, a lot of times in life, people just want to help us, but they don't realize how important something is to us or what we're meant to do. Remember, this is a dream you were given. It wasn't given to anybody else. And only you can bring that across. So that's what makes this so important. Pile 2 is like you have stepped in your King of Cups energy. You're very emotionally balanced. You're very diplomatic. You're empathetic. So you're actually empathetic to the people around you that on how they feel. So you're not dismissive at all. You're like, no, I get it. I get, I get it. This is an odd thing. This is something I really want. This is something that, I'm going after. It's not common to anybody else. Or, no, I know it's a big risk or whatever, right? But you're able to do this very well, okay? You do it very well. And what I see for you here is now all of a sudden people's judgment doesn't mean as much. The judgment card comes in next, and this judgment card talks about self-doubt, right? And having an inner critic. And you're no longer in this place of feeling judged or having self-doubt because there is some conflict about what you want. And it was even hard for you to accept because it's a big dream. It's not something that's easy to come by. And so when we talk about what is unfolding for you, if you're not already here, it's that self-doubt is going to go away. It's going to completely go away. And instead you will feel reborn because it's like you are reborn with your inner calling. So instead of like conquering, because that's what a lot of this message was about, was like kind of conquering the difficulties and challenges of having such a big, robust dream. Now you're in this vibe of you have been reborn. You are experiencing your inner calling. You're essentially pulling the judgment card into upright position from reversed. Okay? So now I'm going to get some clarity on that. Okay, so mystery messages from Isis was unfolding for pile 2. Yeah. This is a big message, it is. It's a big message. You could be born on the 20th or born on the 2nd. 222 could be significant to you. And you are, of course, pile 2. So could be significant. But what I see here, so because you've been reborn to your inner calling, you now feel very comfortable to leave what doesn't work for you, to leave behind the past, and to walk away from things that no longer serve you. And it's just very easy for you to do. So now you're stepping into like your manifestation energy. It's going to be a lot easier for you to go after your dreams and your desires than it's ever been. And so that's kind of the point of all of this and what we're reading and what we're talking about, is that now it's just so much easier for you to just go with the flow and to absorb and to experience this. Okay? All right, and so let's do another message here. The Magician. One of the most powerful cards in the deck. What I see here is that, and I pulled this because I want clarity on the Two of Swords here and how it represents for you. As you're stepping into your new creative endeavor, instead of struggling with difficult decisions, so this is almost reflecting what would happen in your past, like almost like there was things that were unclear about what you're going after. And I want to point out there is a lot of air energy in this reading. There's a lot of fire energy, and I did feel air in pile 1, but pile 2, like Libras, Geminis, Aquariuses, you're all represented here. We also do have some Scorpio in the house, Pisces energy as well. And you don't have to be any of those, or you can have one of those in your chart, right? But that's just kind of, the general energy of this reading. Okay, so back to the Magician. What I see here for the Two of Swords, so the classic, Two of Swords, like she's blind, she has the two swords, it's like making a difficult decision and trying to, well, it's a Libra card, right? So trying to weigh your options. It's going from that into the Magician energy. So the Magician energy, I have to tell you, pile 2, is the best energy you could possibly get for this reading, because it's just showing that you no longer are mentally bothered or blocked by any of your past experiences, because you can manifest, and you can deal with your things very practically, like walk away from things that aren't serving you. You've learned to you've been gone through a rebirth, and you've experienced your inner calling in a deeper way, in a way that nourishes you versus maybe scares you, or is, we'll say, a little frustrating or disappointing, and now you're experiencing it very differently. So the Magician energy is that action energy. It's that energy of creation. It's that energy of manifestation. It's that energy of skill. It's also incredible willpower. So what's happening here is that instead of being lost with any of your decisions, it's actually quite the opposite. You are very solid in your decision making, and you move forward. Now, I do see this as you've spent a lot of time finding your way to this point. And so this is like definitely, messages from Isis is like, this is what's unfolding for you. The journey is worth it. Like, you end up with this Magician energy. Excuse me. You can manifest at a level that you've never been able to experience before. Things will just start coming together and flowing in such an easy way. When people push back on you, or when you get that resistance, it no longer even phases you. You don't think about it very often. It's just not a thing, because you're so clear on what you're going after. Now, the Lover's card has come out, and for you, what I see this as is you experience intense alignment within yourself. You have such a lovely strength within yourself and a deep love for yourself. All of those things lead to the outer relationships reflecting that. That means love and harmony in your relationships. It could be in your divine partnerships. It could be in your romantic relationships as well. It's all of it. Now we're talking about, because of all of everything that you have had to go through and who you've become as the King of Cups, that love energy is coming in full throttle, not just in your outward relationships with other people, but also feeling this full-blown love energy with yourself, feeling supported and valued. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card here. The Four of Swords is coming out, more air energy. So this is about rest and relaxation, meditation. That's one of the ways you're showing yourself love. Throughout this process, you have had a difficult road. There will be some challenges along the way, but really what this message is really leaning into the most is that you need to take care of yourself throughout the path. You are the Star card. Your mission is not an easy one, meaning not everybody is going to be jumping up and down that you're going after what you're going after. But you are represented by the King of Cups, the Star, and the Magician, okay? And judgment is on your side. Like, things are going to come together. So let's ask about, we had a lot of kind of more the personal journey. I'm going to see what else is unfolding from you from a physical standpoint. Yeah. What's unfolding for pile 2 on a physical standpoint? Queen of Wands. Okay. Eight of Wands. Oh, I see some synchronicities definitely with pile 1. Okay. It will give you more messages, and then, okay, 2 cups, perfect. All right. So, what physical, what's unfolding for you in the physical space, pile 2? This is what I'm seeing now. So we have the 3 of Cups energy. This energy, or I'm sorry, the 3 of Wands energy. My apologies. Although 3 of Cups, I can see it happening. 3 of Wands is really about you, like, physically are going to be doing a lot of preparation for your next goal, and you're going to be having a lot of fun. We're seeing some way to expand. So it could be new opportunities in a different space, particularly probably involving travel. Having to go somewhere else as you're preparing, as you are building out or expanding whatever project you're endeavoring on. And if it's something like having a child, it could even be planning that, like planning where the baby's going to be born, where they're going to go to school, where you guys going to choose to live, you know, what city and what, all those things. So no matter what that project is, remember we were given a lot of them at the beginning, suit it to you, but there may be some travel and definitely some planning along the way. So that's what this is talking about from a physical angle. You also have that Queen of Wands energy, that need for courage, of course. But what I see here for you, especially since it's on top of the King of Cups, is a zest for life. You're going to start feeling really excited about your life, excited about the possibilities, not necessarily worried about what's coming next, instead excited like what's coming next, like just a different way to feel it. And it's going to be really incredible to just be able to own that energy versus being negative or seeing it in a negative way, like so many things have changed, you know. This is actually ultimately on top of the 5 of Swords energy, which was like that conflict energy, like people not understanding what you're doing, what you're going after. And so what a transformation from that energy to the having a zest for life. That's what's going to happen in your overall overarching story. Is this zest of life is going to be there, mixed with your determination and courage, which are all great qualities. But it's also important to enjoy the process, not just the destination. And that's what you're going to be doing here. Okay, so on top of the 8 of Cups, 888 could be significant to you because we have the 8 of Wands landing on top of the 8 of Cups. So we're talking about your ability to walk away from anything that just doesn't make sense for you, that doesn't serve you anymore, to really own and trust your own manifestation abilities. That 8 of Wands is representing everything that you want to manifest, you will manifest with speed, okay? You make quick decisions. You are able to just to move with changes really swiftly as well, so you could acclimate very easily. I think this is a beautiful card because it shows that there's not going to be a lot of waiting. You have done a lot of heavy lifting already, so now things will come together very quickly. It will surprise you how fast things will come together. Okay, and of course on top of the Magician card we have the 6 of Wands energy. This is that victory energy. What I like about this card is it talks about like the strong sense of self-confidence, that you really know who you are. And of course, this is on top of the Magician energy. This is on top of that 2 of Swords energy where I said you can make decisions so easily now. You're not disrupted by it. And reinforced by the 8 of Wands, which is really representing quick decision making, right? That's one of the definitions of that. So with your 6 of Wands energy, what's so great about this energy is that you really and truly get the recognition and success that you may desire. You will get that. Even if you don't desire it, you'll still get it. But regardless, you will feel a sense of self-confidence you've never felt. You will feel very in your skin and very much like you chose wisely. Now we end off this part of the reading, the last tarot card, with the 2 of Cups. This talks about love, unified love, okay? So it's not enough that you had the Lovers come out, but you also have the 2 of Cups. I would be remiss to not mention to you, if you're in a relationship, it's probably a good relationship. It's just going to get deeper and it's going to get better. Maybe commitment coming along the way. that's a desire for you, engagement, marriage, that kind of thing. If you are single, you will be meeting somebody soon. This is going to be a divine counterpart. This is not going to be a toxic relationship of any kind. There's not going to be a lot of barriers. It's going to flow naturally and easily. It's going to feel like it was just meant to be. That's what this Two of Cups energy is about. It's about a mutual attraction. It's about a connection. It's about a partnership as well. Just, they are really your person, and you just feel better in each other's presence. That's what you get to look forward to. That is one of the things unfolding for you, pile 2. Okay, with that, I'm going to pull a couple of animal oracle cards, and then you'll be on your way. So, last 2 cards, we're going to see what final messages are coming from these cards. All right. Yeah, well, I think we already know that for you. The first card, and then here's the second card here. All right, so the first card out is Hyena. Dare to be different. We know this because you're the Star card. We know this because you're the Magician. We know this because you're the Queen of Wands. And you're the King of Cups as well, right? So you've been represented with a lot of powerful major arcana as well as some and the court cards as well. But we know you're different ultimately because of what you're going to be bringing in. You're going to be bringing in something significant that will help humankind. At least that's what the messages came from your Isis card that you selected, Key of Life. There's something that's going to impact people's lives. Even if you may feel like it's not that big of a deal, I just want to be a parent. Well, there's something about these choices that are really going to lead somewhere positive. Like, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the world. So when you see it from that instance, like daring to be different, it's really just you daring to trust your own instincts about this decision. And we see that you do that here in the cards. It's been very clear in your messaging, but it's just kind of bringing home the fact that you already are doing that and you'll continue to do that, and that is your strength. Okay, now you also have the Donkey card, and it's keep your heart open no matter what. I don't see a problem for that for you, hence the Lover's card and the Two of Cups coming in toward the end. You are the Magician. You've been able to respectfully hold your ground and hold boundaries and at the same time develop yourself and go after your dreams. You've been able to go through conflict without it hardening you or making you better towards people. You're very understanding. You're also very forgiving. And courage came out as well. You show incredible courage, sometimes having to go through things alone. So pile 2, you've gone through it. I see it. But man, what a revelation for you. You have an amazing success promised in your new project. It's going to be coming soon. You have that Magician energy. You're a very gifted manifester. Make sure to use it because it's coming. I'm going to close out the message by reading that card one more time. So the card says, if Enoch portends new life being born through you now, it could be in a creative sense or in a physical sense, in terms of health or even a child that wishes to be born, a new project that needs to be created in service of humanity. This new life being born in whatever form will enrich your life, bringing you more into wholeness and fulfillment. Let it happen. This is an incredible pile, I have to say. You guys have been through a lot. If you resonate with this message, you can go ahead and shoot me a comment. You can put like a little like baby bird because you are the ones who are producing new life. Like, you are going to be doing something. You are the key of life. So you can do that in the comments pile too. I hope you enjoyed the messages. I certainly did. Hit like if you did. And then if you like my style of reading, please think about subscribing. I post a couple times a week, and I would love to have you join the community. All right, I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi, pile 3. If you selected this ruby zoisite, this is your reading, or if you selected the card, Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Sirius. So, the messages today, we're talking about mystery messages from Isis, what is unfolding for you. And what I'm going to do is first read a little bit from the book. I'll hold up the card, just give a little bit more information on the Lady of Stars card you selected. So here we go. All right. So Seers is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom at an extremely high vibration. It brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and high capacity for divine service. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in the deck. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. Okay, so we will see what this is about, but it's very powerful. Okay, so it's a deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and high capacity for divine service. So it's really coming into your divine, we'll say like your divine own. Let me move that and see if that was visible. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and get into it. So pile 3, mystery messages from Isis. What is unfolding for pile 3 next? Temperance. Oh. 7 of Pentacles. Chariot. This vibe is very different than the other cards. Wow. Or the other piles. 2 Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. Very good. Okay. And I'm just going to pull this one. All right. 8 of Wands. Great, we'll go ahead and get started. So, we know you're spiritually, you're coming into something new. So you're my spiritual pile for sure. There's deeper awakenings happening. Honestly, if you wanted to select any of the other decks, that would be fine. I can already feel the energy on this deck is going to be very different. So I wouldn't be surprised if you were called to multiple decks. If you were, just go ahead and pick the other pile that you're interested in. If this is the only pile you're interested in, perfect. We're going to go get right into it. So this Temperance card, really what we want to talk about here is there's a balance that's happening right now. Like you've learned to really step into a sense of self and a sense of balance that I don't know that I have necessarily seen before. At this stage, you're very spiritually advanced. And I see that because you're very patient. You have like an alchemy quality to you. You've done a lot of work, a lot of self-growth. So already you're a very mature soul. I keep focusing off on these wings in the background. And it just shows like there's a divine essence about you. You've done the work and it shows. It really does show. So your pile is a bit different because it's almost like a confirmation, I feel like for you, because you've done this deep soul awakening, like your gifts, it says like your spiritual gifts and your high capacity for divine service. That's what it talked about here. And that you actually are powerful enough to empower other oracles in the actual Isis oracle deck. So there's something significant happening for you. So I think what we're going to go through here is your spiritual gifts a little bit, but we're going to see something significant in the process. So the first thing up is the 8 of Wands energy. If you hear some noise, I apologize. I have my windows loosely open. It's because of, it's incredibly warm and it's a bit windy out. And then I have a light fan on me. So sorry about that. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Okay. So we talked about that Temperance energy going into the 8 of Wands. What I see here is that instead of being so stuck in like lack of movement, you're moving into the next phase with such grace and such ease. So you're not somebody who gets really like stuck in place, and you're not someone who's just rushing ahead. No, you have a beautiful balance of understanding the flow and the nature of what needs to be done next. You're not new to develop being in the flow. At this point, you may have felt like you just started doing that, but at this point you've become a consistent master. This is brought home by the 7 of Pentacles energy. The 7 of Pentacles energy is very important energy because you notice here, Seven of Pentacles, and this tree is growing. He's got some sort of magic. Remember, we talked about your alchemy, your sense of alchemy. You can alchemize a lot of different things, pile 3. So with his alchemy, he's growing this tree. This is very significant for you because you have such a good idea of when to make the move of being in flow, things grow for you a lot easier than for most, okay? You're also able to make a lot of progress very quickly. Now, it doesn't mean it's overnight success, but it does mean you don't toil very often. You're constantly seeing progress day by day, okay? Next card out flew out of the deck. This is the King of Pentacles, all right? This energy is clarifying that Seven of Pentacles, or King of Wands, my apologies. The Seven of Pentacles is being clarified by the King of Wands energy. So remember we said he's using his alchemy to like grow this tree, to really like expand the roots, it's your patience for the growth, right? You're being smart about it. That's kind of also represented here. But what I want to focus in on is that King of Wands, following it up. This is someone in their power. A leader, independent, right? Has a creative vision and is not worried about anybody else's thought around it. Not worried about it at all. If you were drawn to pile 2, this is your conclusion, okay? But it's that King of Wands energy. It's very powerful energy. Like you're just so in it. You really are. Yeah, I'm really moved by just this sense like you're very focused as well. So, you know, we go right into the Seven of Chariot, and I want to point something out. There's a lot of energy in this deck, right? There's some action happening in every card. And the steely gaze of the King of Wands is the calmest card, and this card is so fiery in its nature, right? The Chariot comes in, so I do want to point out 7-7 could be significant to you. 7 can be significant to you. You could be born on the 7th, or 7 could be your favorite number. If it is, you can drop in the comments, but yeah, it's definitely important in this message. Okay, so the Chariot energy. This is, you know, major arcana. We're talking about, like, there's going to be a lot of success. We know this, especially with the King of Wands energy, but it's about progress forward. It's like everything that you go after now, you're in that alchemy energy. You're very patient with what you go after it. You have this steely gaze, like this focus, that you're going to get what you want no matter what. Okay, that's the vibe. And then you're just going for it, right? And you're celebrating your progress as it's coming your way. So you're not somebody who's missing, we'll say like missing the process. You're not missing it at all. In fact, you're really enjoying it through and through. Now this card is followed up by the Hierophant card. This card came up when I was shuffling, so I just made sure to keep it here. The Hierophant is clarifying the Chariot. You have a lot of major arcana here. So the Hierophant, you notice how he is sitting and laughing and looking up to the sky, and there's some, you know, sacred geometry in the card, and just a very bright energy. So as it follows up the Chariot card, the Chariot card is a reminder of someone who has success, a lot of progress, maybe even some travel, right? Travel along the way. But I see this more as like success and progress, like you're always focused forward. That Hierophant card brings home, even with that focus, you still lean with that spiritual kind of view. You become that teacher. You're still always the student, but you're also that mentor. You are able to see through your spiritual challenges by making your own path, and at the same time by moving towards the things that are important to you and moving away from things that are not. So you're just in this beautiful sense of balance. And that is brought home even more with the Two of Pentacles, right? I could see this as spiritual and physical, and like trying to balance both, because you are my spiritual pile, so you spend a lot of time in the ethereal as well as in the physical. And with that, that can be challenging. The Two of Pentacles is just really bringing home, like, what's unfolding for you is it's not going to be a struggle to balance it anymore. It'll come together in a very congruent way. It's going to be very easy for you to do. Lady of the Stars, right? Oh, Four of Swords came out to clarify. So the Four of Swords energy clarifying the Two of Pentacles. So let's do a little deeper dive into Two of Pentacles before we touch the Four of Swords. You know, sometimes it may feel like a balancing act right now for you if you're like really trying to balance, like, okay, I have my spiritual side and it's so important to me, and then I have all the things I need to do every day and be in this physical world, which can be draining, or we can feel not as understood. And what is really being brought home here is the fact that, yeah, it's not the easiest road, but it's definitely a very doable road. It'll just be easier for you to manage it all. It's like, I'll use the example of going to a new, like if you're in school and learning where all your classes are and getting there on time and all that fun stuff that we've all done. You know, the first couple of days it's the most awkward, then after that you do it without thought. So it's kind of like that. It's just you're learning your ways around a few things. Next thing you know, you'll have the beautiful balance. It's inevitable. You're the Lady of the Stars. It's not going to be a struggle for you to balance out both sides of the physical and the spiritual space that you inhabit. So we do have the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is talking about like taking the time to rest and reflect on what's been happening, especially when times are hard, and being open to that before you make your next move. This card is very significant for you. I see here that you do this often. This is something that you're already doing. So what's unfolding for you is that a sporadic practice becomes a more consistent practice. And as you're manifesting and moving in, and you have all this Chariot energy and the Eight of Wands energy and Temperance and King of Wands, a lot of kind of robust, passionate, fast energy. You have the Four of Swords balancing it out. You're still taking time to rest. You're not going to burn yourself out. You've found, again, this beautiful sense of balance is represented by the Two of Pentacles. So then the Three of Pentacles comes out next. You know, what I like about this card is it talks about, like, you know, you're gaining skills and you're, you know, there's something here about working with others as well. So whatever you're going after, or whatever you seek to achieve, you will be able to do it in a way that you enjoy it, meaning working with others if that's your goal, or just pursuing this new skill and feeling all that fulfillment that comes from gaining new skills, right? Like, not just financial benefits or feeling proud about it, but it's just like those little wins every day. Like, oh my God, I learned that new skill. I didn't think I could do that. Or that was hard, but I nailed that. Like, it's all of those moments that's just going to feed your soul. And that's something that's unfolding for you next. Now let me see what else is here. Okay, Ace of Wands. It did come out in reverse, so I'm going to place it that way. So the Ace of Wands energy is, yeah, you're completely free from any, like, I'm going to call it like standard human stuff, like things that are like human worries, like worried about what people think about you, worried about your self-expression. You're 1,000% yourself. You speak your mind. You're open to like explore anything that inspires you. You're excited about life. You're moving forward in a very clear, direct manner. You're in a position, Pile 3, to just really live your life like on your terms. Okay? So that's what is coming for you. Now, I do want to get some more information on the physical. We have a bit here about you being a leader and things coming in fast, but this was very spiritually focused, which it should be, especially with the card that you selected. But I want to see if we can get some physical things here. Okay. Oh, High Priestess, of course. Not surprised for this pile. Justice card. Oh, hate it when it does that. Ace of Cups. letters. Okay. All right, so let's start with the Six of Cups. This card is like everything in your life that may have felt unsettled becomes settled. Meaning you're looking at your life and how it's unfolded from childhood to now, and you have such a renewed respect for yourself, what you've been through, for what you're on this planet for. It adds a lot of clarity. What you can, what's unfolding for you, for you, Pile 3, you're really coming into your own, understanding everything that you are, trusting your instincts, seeing your childhood for better or for worse, whatever it is. You see it in a way where it's like, oh, I'm exactly who I'm meant to be. It's almost like looking at everything in the past like a prequel to a movie and understanding why you're the person you are today, and being able to own that with every bit of your soul. So then we come into the High Priestess energy here. So on top of this King of Wands energy, another major arcana representing you here. With this process, what's unfolding for you next is you're going to be unlocking your inner High Priestess energy. So this is like that intuition that you've already been developing is just going to be at a whole nother level. And you'll be able to understand your subconscious mind and your conscious mind with ease. You're just going to be in a sense of flow and understand like light and shadow energies is represented by the shadow on this side and the light on this side of the card. I'll hold it up so you can see it. So shadow and light. It'll all come together. It's not going to be scary for you. It's just going to be like additional knowledge. So again, this tree that you started building in this row, right, with the Seven of Pentacles, led with the King of Wands, that passion coming out and that sure sense of leadership and going after what you want, is all going to be guided even fuller by the fact that you get deeper into your spiritual practice. You know, this card did mention the Lady of the Stars, the only oracle card tonight to reference the fact that this could be awakening, like you had just gone through awakening, like you're finishing an awakening. I see that very clearly here. When you finish the awakening, you are the High Priestess, okay? So some of this could have already happened, and some of it could still be happening. Regardless, it should make sense to you as you're listening to this message. Okay, and then the Justice card has come out next. On a physical end, there will be justice that you see in your life. Now, justice could be a job that is treating you poorly, and now all of a sudden you're getting the accolades you deserve, or it could be you find another job without much difficulty, and this job is exactly what you want and what you've hoped to have for a very long time. It could mean justice in a relationship, finding out truly where you stand, or watching someone kind of have to, we'll say, answer for some of the things that they've done, but justice will happen. It could be that you're being paid back something that you were owed, so somebody borrowed money or things like that. That could be another form of justice. But whatever the case, justice will be coming for you, Pile 3. You're going to see some areas where you're getting paid back for everything that you've put out there and how much support you've given others. Payback is on its way, and that's guaranteed with this card. The Ace of Cups energy has come up next. This is beautiful energy for you. It's about new love, yes, but it's also about, it's not just about the potential for romantic love or partnership love. It could be. But what I want to focus in on here, this Ace of Cups energy, it's about a new love and respect for yourself. You have this new, like, deep sense of appreciation for yourself, as represented with the Six of Cups here. You know, Six of Cups is like happier times, like looking back at your past and being able to kind of understand how things worked out so it could play out to your future. But I think how you see all of that is going to be in a very unique way, because it unleashes a new love that you have for yourself. And it's something that can never be taken away from you. It's just a very deep, profound sense of understanding of yourself, what you've been through, what you have to offer. Not many people will ever have this in their lifetime, Pile 3. The fact that you're getting this, and you're getting it so soon, is huge, because no matter how you approach your next phase in life, whatever you want to do, you're going to be a complete person while doing it, meaning you're not going to do it in an unconscious way. You're going to do it in a very conscious way. Okay, and then we have the Lover's card. Now this Lover's card really points out to me, like, yes, we can't sleep on it. Love is in the air. Like, your partnerships will get better. If you're going through difficult times, it's a sign that better days are to follow. If you are single, new relationships are possible. They are coming. And just be patient with that, because you've had to reintegrate yourself into the world with this awakening. So with that, that means that you're coming in as a new person, and therefore now it's like a new beacon calling out new energies that are going to come love and support you. If you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of friendships or relationships because of the awakening process, you've lost a lot of people along the way, not necessarily physically, but just that you could not raise in vibration with them around. This is a confirmation for you that new partnerships, new friendships, new romantic relationships as well, everything is possible now with your new vibration, and there will be healthier relationships than anything you've ever experienced in the past. If you have great relationships, then they will be renewed, and they're going to get even better than you can ever imagine. But this is a complete confirmation for you that you are headed in the right direction. Everything is coming. You have love from others, of course, and that support system we all desire. You have amazing love for yourself and that support. You're going to be able to see justice come to pass. You're going to be pulling in your High Priestess energy, as well as you started all with the Temperance energy. You have incredible balance. All of this is coming quickly with the Eight of Wands and the Chariot. So pile 3. In short, you're bringing it. The worst is over. Now it's like, just stay in flow, and you're just going to watch it unfold. Spirit's been a little coy. They're not telling us specifically what's going to unfold. You could, and you could just be blocked from that. But the last card that came out that I thought was important to share with you was the World card. The world is what's possible for you. And maybe your goal is to be popular in the world with that statement I just said earlier. So if that's the case, then that's a confirmation it's possible. But you are an alchemist, okay? You are the High Priestess, and you're an alchemist. You have a lot of power, and you have gone through your awakening process. Anything you want is possible, as represented by the World card, okay? It means that your Fool's journey has come to an end. You're stepping into a new sense of power and spiritual confidence. And now it's time to claim the rewards that you've earned, okay? It's time for you to claim it. So if you resonate with this message, you can go ahead and throw in a comment, a little globe icon, emoji, a little globe emoji. That would be awesome. You can claim these messages. But yeah, it's pretty incredible, I have to say. Your reading is very different than the other readings. If you did feel a desire to watch one of the other piles, go for it. But if you're good with this message here, I'm good with it as well. I think that you've really done a lot. If you can't, and because I'm not really sure like how it comes over on YouTube, if a globe doesn't come over, you can always do a heart, just a big red heart. Would be great. Okay, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed these messages. Oh, hold on one second, actually. I'm going to reread the message just to bring home and let everything kind of stew in at once. So, Seers is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love. It brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity for divine service. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in this deck. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. The significance, we went through your journey, is incredibly significant. We also know that you have the power of alchemy. You can bring about anything that you want in this world. So keep your eyes open, think about what you want, and the world is your oyster. Okay, officially pile 3. Thank you so much for listening to these messages. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, go ahead and hit like. I would appreciate that. And subscribe if you enjoy these messages and you like the way I read the cards. We'd love for you to join the channel. And yeah, I post a couple times a week typically, so you'll get more messages. All right, with that, thank you so much, Pile 3. Take care.